Good afternoon, and welcome to the UR College Bound Show. The audience is going wild today. Welcome again, and if you're watching, that most likely means that you are college bound. Welcome, of course, to all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search students watching, and to anyone else joining us today. It is Friday, May 1st, 2020. I am Brady Ferguson, Senior Academic Advisor with Pre-College Programs of the David T. Kern Center at the University of Rochester, and thank you for joining us today. It also is May Day today, so happy May Day to everyone. Now, as we're getting started here, feel free to go ahead and drop your name, full name please, in the chat on YouTube. That is how we take attendance for our Upward Bound and Talent Search students, and that is how you earn college bound points for attending. You get 15 college bound points today. All you have to do is drop your name in the chat, or you can text your name to 585-301-4488, or you can email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu, and you get 15 college bound points for attending today. And if you don't know, I'll explain to you what incentives you can earn with those college bound points. I'll explain that briefly. But anyways, fine. Drop your name in the chat, text it to that number, or you can email it to that email address that you see on the screen. And if you're not one of our Upward Bound or Talent Search students, but you want to let us know you're tuning in today, feel free to drop your name in the chat as well. We do encourage participation on social media, of course. We would ask that you drop a hashtag URTrioWorks on any post you make regarding the show, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But we do encourage you to post about the show, and if we find any especially good posts, we'll share them later in the show. For those of you who do not know, we have gone virtual with all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search programming. Here are our main offerings that we have right now. Of course, our weekly advising continues. Your Upward Bound or Talent Search advisor probably has already reached out to you, probably several times, but make sure to stay in touch as well. We have as well our UR Success Academy every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. Plenty of tutors available to help with any class, so make sure to check that out. This is the UR College Bound Show every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. on YouTube, so we appreciate you being here today, and you can tune in every week if you like, although we do target a specific grade level each week. Today, we are especially hoping our 11th graders will be here. Then next week will be our 9th graders, the following week for our 10th graders, and then we continue that rotation. 12th graders, you're just about done with your college application process, or already done, so we don't have a lot of content for you, but of course, you're welcome to tune in. Then we do have our clubs, which you'll see on the other side of the screen. Art Club meets on Monday nights on Instagram Live. Coding Club meets a couple Saturdays a month, not tomorrow. The next one will be the following Saturday, but in between those Saturday meetings, there are modules you can work through on your own, and we release a new one every week, so you can learn how to do coding and design your own video game. And then, of course, Book Club has been going strong. That's every Wednesday afternoon, and you get to read the book in between. So plenty of ways for you to participate, and these are also ways for you to earn college bound points. Let's see what we got checking in today. Shamil, thank you for joining us today. Glad you are checking out the show. As we already know, Clarence is here, one of our Upward Bound alum, and actually a classmate, or not a classmate, a college mate, you could say, of our guest today, who I will be bringing on in a couple minutes. Another alum here, trying to stay safe. Some of our staff here as well. Marifer's in the house, and of course, each and every Friday, our fearless leader, Kevon Henry. So thank you, everyone, for checking in. And if anyone new joins us, please feel free to drop your name in the chat at any point during the show. Oh, we got another staff member checking in. Catherine says hey to everybody. Our director for STEM is here. Danielle saying hey. So good to see you. Glad you're all tuning into the show today. Now, like I said, by participating, you can earn college-bound points, and those college-bound points can earn you a variety of different incentives. The big ones would be the trips, which we are hoping to start in the fall and continue to next spring when the University of Rochester allows travel again. But we do have some trips planned for every grade level, so the college-bound points will count toward earning a spot on those trips. But we have some other incentives too. We have some upward-bound swag. We may be doing some more Grubhub deliveries to the students who earn those. So we're not asking you to earn points for nothing. You will be rewarded. As an example, we have 4 students who already earned a Grubhub incentive, and that got sent to them last week. These were our college-bound points MVPs through the first half of the school year, and they earned the most points at their school through the end of March, and they each got a little Grubhub treat last week. Jason Cow got some yummy food from Dogtown Hot. Dalis Castro Lopez got some of that good Pontillo's pizza and wings. Aroma Dulal had some orange juice, and I think there was some food as well. And Cody Siriconforne has some tasty Indian food. So those are just some of the options, but hopefully that will entice some of you to keep working on earning these college-bound points. As many of you know, our current programming is virtual, and our summer program this year will also be virtual. Now, we want to put safety first, and the University of Rochester is not allowing any students on campus this summer. So we're going virtual with our summer program as well. We've already come up with some new ideas for some new offerings we can have, for how we can connect better with other upward bound programs around the country. So we're excited about the opportunities that this virtual summer will present, although also sad that we won't get to see you all in person. But if you do have suggestions for how we can make this virtual summer the best upward bound summer ever, please let us know. You can send us a message to those numbers I showed before. You can contact your upward bound advisor, but we do certainly appreciate student feedback. See who else we got here today. Chris, one of our college program staff, is here. Hi, Chris. Liz, who's worked with pre-college programs, college programs, now with graduate programs, she's here today. Woo woo. She said the MVPs are looking good. And Catherine said they were making her hungry too. Sorry about that, Catherine, but it's almost dinner time. Just wait until after the show ends at 5 o'clock. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on our alumni guest of the week. She is a graduate of East High School, class of 2019, East High, and she is currently studying at Buffalo State College in her first year there. She will be graduating from there with her bachelor's in 2023. So let's welcome Taniya Gaines. Hi, Taniya. How are you doing today? Okay, looks like Taniya was just frozen for a second there, but I think we got you now. Taniya, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Doing great since I'm talking to you now. How are things going for you and your family in these uncertain times?
It's all right, but just making the best of what we could do.
Okay. Well, glad to hear that. I think that's all that we can shoot for, just making the best of the time that we're living in right now. So I do have some questions I want to ask you, Taniya, about your experience in college. But also, for those of you watching on YouTube, if you have any questions you want to ask Taniya, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I will try to get to your questions. Marifer says hi, Tania.
Hi, Marifer.
All right, Tania says hi back, Marifer. You probably heard her. Okay, so my first question, Tania, what is the best thing about being a college student?
I say all the freedom because like there's nobody there to tell you what you can do or what you can't do. So it's like you're on your own, you can have time to do whatever you feel like doing.
Okay, so you like that, like having that freedom and independence in college. How easy has it
Yeah.
been making new friends in college?
I mean, it didn't come hard for me because, I'm a friendly person, so I talk to everybody, but some people I know, like, it can be hard, but you just gotta, like, just put yourself out there.
Okay. So for you, it wasn't too hard, but your advice for others is just to put yourself out there, and that's how you do it.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Clarence Shepard, another Bengal, is here watching today, but he made a little Bengal Nation post in the chat, so we do have some Bengal support there. But a decent number of our Upward Bound alumni, East High alumni, whether or not Upward Bound, have gone on to Buffalo State. Do you feel like you see a lot of familiar faces there from East, or is it people you maybe just run into every now and then?
Both, because a lot of people that I hang out with are alone. I know a lot of people.
Okay, sorry, I lost you for a little bit there, but I think I heard most of the answers. I feel like it's some of both. You see some people that you know, but it's not all the time, so it's
Yeah.
some of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As far as the work that you have to complete for college, how hard is it?
I think it depends on the class. For me, it wasn't too hard at first, but then once I got into like my education classes for my major, it became a lot harder, especially after do group work because a lot of people don't like, participate, so you got to pick up their slack.
Okay, so at first not too hard, but then it started getting harder when you got into your classes for your major.
Yeah.
And tell everyone, what is your major, and is that connected to a career that you hope to do later on?
Yeah. So I'm actually a double major in early childhood and childhood education, so which is birth through grade 6. And yeah, I want to become first or second grade teacher.
Ah, first and second grade teacher. Nice, nice. Well, we certainly need more good teachers out there, so that's great. We have a question from Liz who's watching, a follow up to what we were talking about, but she says, Tania, what was it like the transition to college coursework?
It was hard. Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna be as much as it was, but it's like you got multiple classes and sometimes stuff is due on the same day. So it's like I had to learn how to manage my time.
Okay, so the time management was important for managing the work for multiple classes. Yeah, give me the head nod there. That time management is key. I do hear that a lot. Liz has another follow up question. So, what do you do when people are slacking in group work?
I mean, there's not much you can really do, but just honestly, if you can complete it yourself, I would say just do that because most of the time the professors doesn't care. They're gonna want you to find a way to do it.
Okay. So, if other people are slacking, sometimes you just have to pick up that slack yourself. Got it. And Catherine sent a big Go Teachers shout out, a former teacher herself, but also a current teacher at the same time as being an Upward Bound advisor. How about outside of the classroom, Tania? What are you involved with outside of class?
I'm in a teacher program. So it's like it's called the Future Teachers Club. So it's like sometimes we go out in the community, help out with like events at the school. Sometimes it's like teacher workshop. Other than that, just like just going to like campus events.
Okay. What have been some of your favorite campus events?
Um, I think some of the ones like the Caribbean Student Organization put like the Labor Day parade. I think that was one of my favorites.
Okay, okay, sounds fun. Clarence asks, "What's the best thing about being a Bengal?"
There's a lot. I think my main thing is like all the support from everybody. There's always like, especially my advisor, they always reach out to make sure because they want to make sure you do the best you can do.
Okay, so your advisor there has been very supportive and helpful. And actually, I'd like to ask a little bit more about your advisor. Can you tell us more about your advisor and how often you talk to them and what they help you with?
I see in my advisor sometimes once a week, sometimes twice. Like I just go there to make sure I keep on track of my coursework and like the classes I should take and when I should take them. So it's like she's there to base my advisor is there to like to guide me throughout the entire process.
Okay, and is this your advisor through a certain program, through your major, or how did you end up connecting with them?
It was my general advisor just based off like who they placed me with, but I will end up with another advisor for my major.
Okay, so this is your general advisor who was assigned to you when you first started, but later on you're going to
Yeah.
get another advisor specific to your major.
Hmm.
Okay, good. No, good to know. Good to know. For the high school students, important information for you to know when you get to college. Clarence, I'm actually going to throw that question back at you. Drop it in the chat. What do you think is the best thing about being a Bengal? Just curious to know since you're asking. How about the food, Tania? How's the food there at Buck State?
It's not the best. I think the only good thing I like is the smoothies. Other than that, I just it's not good at all.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. So, but the smoothies are okay?
The smoothies are good. In Starbucks.
And the Starbucks? The smoothies in the Starbucks. Okay. We got another question from Clarence here. What do you think can be improved in student life or in the residence halls?
As far as residence halls, I feel like I didn't know my RA at all. Like I would see her like, here and there, but it's like I think I had like maybe one conversation with her. So I feel like there should be like more like interaction between the RA and the students that they're working with.
Hmm. Okay, so more interaction between the RA and the students who they advise. Okay. Clarence, are you going to be a RA? I know you have been in the past. Also, Clarence, still waiting for you to tell us what you think is the best thing about being a Bengal. Well, we have a question from someone else, and we have a couple more minutes with Tania. So, any high school students, Shamil, or anyone else watching, if you have a question for Tania about college, feel free to drop it in the chat, but do so soon because we only have her with us for a couple more minutes. But Kevon has a question. This is going back to the food and the food being not so good. She asks, "Are you chefing it up then?"
I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, I've made spaghetti twice now and I had to share it. It was gone. I guess so.
Okay, so doing a little of that. Okay, good, good, useful, very useful life skill to have. Clarence did answer. Yes, Clarence is going to be an RA, so hopefully he will listen to what you said and make sure that he has a lot of contact and actually advises his students. Clarence also said a comment about Buffalo State and what he likes about it. Being at Buffalo State made me feel like I'm at home. I'm always involved with people I don't know for a good cause. So that sounds good there. Catherine has a question. How do you like being in Buffalo? Do you think that distance away from the Rock is a good balance?
I like Buffalo. There's like so many more things to do. Like I've been going out and about and as far as distance, yeah, I mean, I feel like I should go farther because I feel like I'm a little too close, and I don't like seeing my family as often as they do as they come up. But other than that, it's a
Okay, so you like Buffalo, but maybe A little too close, maybe a little farther would be better to keep the family from rolling up on you too often?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. Well, we got another staff member and Upward Bound alum in the house. Caleb is here. SUNY School is in the house. Not a Buff State alum, but an SUNY Oswego alum. So Caleb is here. Thank you for joining us, Caleb, and checking it out. All right. So, Taniya, I have one final question for you today, and this is more related to high school, actually. Today, our episode is especially for 11th graders. So that wasn't too long ago for you, a couple of years, right? If you can think back to when you were an 11th grader, what advice would you give yourself or your friends knowing what you do now?
Well, I mean, as far as like the college process, get your recommendations out the way. Because I feel like I waited too late. I waited to my senior year, and I was like, it was kind of like at the point like halfway through my year, so it was like it's like I had to constantly keep reminding them. But if you do it early enough, you wouldn't have to worry about you know trying to crunch everything up.
Great, good advice. So all you 11th graders watching, and for the younger students, remember this when you get to 11th grade. Ask for those recommendations early. You can even ask for them now. Email, call your teachers, ask about the recommendation. That way, when the college applications open up on August 1st, you already know who will be writing it for you. So that's all the time we have for our alum interview today. But Taniya, thank you for joining us on the show. We appreciate your time, appreciate you sharing your experience and advice with the students, and good luck with the rest of your semester, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Our live studio audience going wild for that interview. Great. We hope you enjoyed that, and we hope you learned something from that. We're going to take a quick break for some messages, some very important messages, and then we'll be back. See you on the flip side.
Hi, everybody. This is Catherine with URUB Book Club Updates. We're over halfway through reading the 57 Bus, and we need to start deciding what book we should read next. Please check out our Instagram stories to vote on our final 4 options in the URUB Book Club bracket. Book Club Round 2 will kick off on May 27th. You have until 3 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, May 2nd, to vote on the final 4 options. The final 2 options will be released on our Instagram stories on Monday, May 4th. Please vote, and happy reading!
Hello, Upward Bound. It's me, Danielle, here to show you what we've been doing in Coding Club. Back when I first started Upward Bound, one of our students created this game called Meliora Impossible. I wanted to recreate that this year with a more sophisticated program. So far, we've completed 4 modules, and this is what I have so far. Everything that you see here is something that we've covered in a lesson. I can collect keys. I have a countdown. I have a countdown clock for 15 seconds, and I have to collect as many keys as possible without running into spikes. One of the nice things about the platform that we're using this year is that you can download your game to handheld devices. That, for me, make it significantly harder to play. Like I said, we already completed 4 lessons and we already have playable games. Starting next week, I'm going to start showing you how to do things like adding gravity, shooting projectiles, and other ways to make your game a little bit more complicated. So hopefully you'll join me. New modules come out every week, and you can join me every second and fourth Saturday for a live lesson where I'll show you a little bit more content and help you develop your game. So I hope to see you soon.
Hi, do you need help with
Writing,
Spanish,
SAT math,
SAT prep for ELA,
Algebra.
geometry,
chemistry,
global history,
biology?
then come to tutoring.
Let's learn together.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed those messages. Now, next up on the You Are College Bound show today. We have another one of our Upward Bound alumni. She now works for us. She is an alumni ambassador, a graduate of Vanguard Collegiate High School, as well as St. John Fisher College, and that's Shaquita Williams. Welcome to the show, Shaquita. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Shaquita has some important information to share with you today, students. So I will give the stage to Shaquita. Shaquita, go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I am here to share some tips on how you should prepare yourself when taking your SATs. First things first, you should find a quiet place to study. Think of a place where you are able to sit down and read in silence, a place where you can focus. You want to study in the same environment that you will be taking your test in. This way, you're way less nervous when it comes time to actually take the exam. Time management. Time management is the most important part of preparing for the SATs. You should make a study plan that you can stick to. You will create this around your own schedule, so you should be able to stick to it. Set goals that are attainable. For example, by the end of week 3, you should be able to sit and practice one whole section of your SAT. Set time limits. Make sure that you time yourself while you study, as you will be timed when you take your SATs. Also, you don't want to wear yourself down, so you should take breaks. Focus. Actually try. This is the only way to achieve higher scores on your SATs. Be prepared. You want to sit down with all of the supplies that you will need when you are taking your SATs. You need a pencil, a calculator, practice problems, scrap paper, and you don't want to have your phone with you while you practice. This will be distracting. I suggest timing yourself, putting your phone on the other side of the room and not moving until you hear the alarm. Study. Lock in. Actually study. Don't cheat yourself. Focus on the more difficult content before moving on to things that you already know well. Try to anticipate your answers before reading your options. I would suggest covering them up with your hand while you read the question. Take breaks. It is important to take breaks, especially when working through difficult math problems. Work for 20 minutes and then take a 10-minute break and then come back to it. You'll get it. Always keep trying. Don't give up. You can never be too prepared for a test. And my last tip is to be confident. You have to believe that you will score well on your SATs in order to get high scores. It starts with you. Investing this time in yourself will pay off in the end when you're able to get into your dream college. Think smart. Try to recall what you read and use logic when thinking through your answers. Trust your instincts. Don't second guess yourself. Eliminate wrong answers and choose between choices that make the most sense. To earn 10 college bond points, your homework assignment is to create your own study plan. Here is my study plan that I put together. So on Sundays, I usually get up earlier on the weekends. So by 10 a.m., I would suggest, for me, I would practice one section of the SAT and then review it later on in the day. On Monday, I would work through 10 math problems for this 1 hour, and then later on in the day, try 2 reading problems. You want to break it up so that you're not cramming and overwhelming yourself. Send these study plans to your advisors at their respective emails, and they will get back to you with feedback.
Great. Thank you, Shaquita, for those tips. Students, I hope you're listening carefully. Great tips for studying, whether it's for the SAT or for anything else. Shaquita, we did get someone in the chat saying, woot woot, Vanguard, which is Catherine, our academic advisor, one of our academic advisors currently at Vanguard. So thank you for those tips, Shaquita, and we'll see you later in the show. Next up, we have another one of our staff members who's going to be joining us. And she also has some more important information to share, and that's Gina. So, Gina, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Having fun with the
Good.
show. Oh, sorry, I got to drop a little comment in here from Kevon. But this was for Shaquita, but she said, "Sheesh, where were you when I was preparing for the SAT?" I don't know. You have to ask her that yourself in person,
All right.
Kevon. But sorry, she wasn't. She wasn't in the Bronx. I know that. But Gina, I know you have some important information to share with the students, so you can go right ahead.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm here to give you some updates regarding the SAT and the AP test brought to you by your friends from College Board, but delivered through me. So the June 6, 2020 SAT is canceled. If deemed safe, it is planned that the SAT will be offered on the following dates for the remainder of 2020. August 29th, September 26th, October 23rd, November 7th, December 5th. Registration for these dates will be made available sometime in May. No exact date is determined yet, but College Board will be reaching out, I believe via email, they didn't specify, to notify students when registration is available. It is an unlikely event that schools do not reopen this fall. College Board will provide a digital SAT for home use. Check out the College Board for live updates on the status of the SAT and for free resources to prepare for your test. Links to both of these resources are in the description of this video. Take advantage of this opportunity to have more time to prepare for the SAT. Now for the AP test. So AP tests are still scheduled for May and will be taking place between May 11th and May 22nd. Touch base with your AP teacher to make sure you have all the information you need for the day of the test. Check College Board for details on test dates and times, as well as details on how online tests will be administered this year. College Board is making free, virtual, live, and recorded AP test prep sessions. See links in the description of this video for information on the AP test and AP virtual review sessions.
Great. Thank you, Gina, for sharing that important information. Now, I know you also had a question or a poll for the students today. So would you like to go ahead and ask them that question as they take a look at the question on their screen as well?
Yes. So this summer, we're still going to be doing college tours, but we're going to be doing a little differently, virtual college tours. So this allows us the opportunity to travel even farther virtually. So 4 colleges that we are proposing for you all to see if you want to visit. So vote in the chat, in the YouTube chat, on which college you want to visit this summer, among others, but this is just an option. So we have San Francisco Art Institute, University of Houston, University of Las Vegas, and Georgia State University. Choose in the chat which one you want to go to this summer.
Yes, and as you see on your screen, if you prefer, you can also text your vote to that phone number on the screen, 585-301-4488. So either one, put it in the chat, or you can text that vote to us, because we want to give you the choice. Looks like Clarence voted for UNLV. And Gina, can you give them the 4 choices one more time so we can give them a little more time to vote?
So A, San Francisco Art Institute, B, University of Houston, C, University of Las Vegas, and D, Georgia State University.
All right, thanks. We got some more votes. Kevon voting for UH. I'm assuming that's University of Houston. Calum, University of Houston. Liz, Houston. Taniya voting for Houston. Houston's getting a lot of love here. But students, we will be taking your votes through the end of the show, so put it in the chat, or you can text it to that number. Shamil Another vote for Houston. It's looking like it's Houston, but we still have 22 more minutes before the end of the show, so feel free to send in your vote anytime to 585-301-4488, anytime before the end of the show. Catherine voted for Georgia State. Georgia State getting some love too. But we'll keep that voting going. And Gina, we're on screen now, and I just wanted to show a comment that came up earlier related to your AP review sessions, Gina. Catherine says, Lin-Manuel Miranda is hosting an AP U.S. History AP review session. He's the one who wrote the musical Hamilton. So if that doesn't make you want to do AP U.S. History review, I don't know what would. But Catherine, thank you for pointing that out for us and for all of our students. A few more votes in. Marifer voting for the University of Houston. Hope you're keeping the tally, Gina. And Kevon already voted, but she mentioned that the city of Houston is on the rise. Ask Beyonce and Meg. So Houston, that might be where we're going. All right, well, next, we want to share some other news with all of you. Or as I should say, Shaquita and Gina would like to share some other news with all of you. So let's bring Shaquita back on. All right, Shaquita and Gina, you're both back on the screen with a nice matching pink UB sweatshirt. And they're going to share some other news with everyone today. So take it away.
In other news, we wanted to provide you guys with some updates of things that are going on in the world aside from COVID-19. So, due to COVID-19, India has been on a lockdown. Since this lockdown has been in place, the pollution levels in the air have decreased dramatically. Air pollution in India has reached its lowest point for the first time in 30 years. Because of this, the Himalayan mountains are able to be seen from the rooftops of people who live upwards of 125 miles away.
Although the Shedd Aquarium in Chicago has been closed to the general public amidst nationwide quarantines, the facility's animal caretakers took advantage of their closure by taking some of their penguins for a little trip. In a series of videos posted by the aquarium's social media page, viewed several million times, several of the aquarium's penguins were given the opportunity to explore the public areas of the facility, and they seemed pretty amused by the Without guests in the building, caretakers are getting creative in how they provide enrichment to animals, introducing new experiences, activities, foods, and more to keep them active, encourage them to explore, problem solve, and express natural behaviors.
Oh, look at those cute little penguins walking around the aquarium. Aren't they cute? There they go. Great. And what's next?
Aliens are real. The United States Department of Defense released video of unidentified aerial phenomena. UFOs have been seen throughout history of time, but there was no proof of what they were and where they came from. These unidentified aircraft are known not to be human because they accelerate at speeds faster than what has been seen by our Navy pilots. These UFOs were seen speeding against 120 miles per hour winds and rotating at the same time. 2 days ago, the Pentagon has confirmed one of the oldest conspiracy theories. It's true. Aliens are real.
Wow. Isn't that crazy, Brady?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't have believed it, but let's take a look at this short video about it.
Yeah, remember that movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Pentagon officially released 3 videos of what they're calling unidentified aerial phenomena. Take a look.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. girl going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
So this footage was leaked years ago, and we showed it to you back in 2017. U.S. Navy infrared cameras photographed what appear to be rapidly moving UFOs. Pentagon officials say the videos were released to clear up any misconceptions over whether the footage was real, Anthony.
So there it is, UFOs and aliens. Catherine says, whoa, channeling some X-Files vibe. Kevon said, aliens? Going back to that first slide, Catherine said, wow, beautiful, appropriate that we just celebrated Earth Day. So what's next? Oh, next, I think Gina had something else she wanted to share next. Is that right, Gina?
Yes. So, as a means of entertaining lonely adults during the novel coronavirus outbreaks, a team of Canadian high schoolers created a hotline that plays pre-recorded messages of positivity. The youngsters say they created the free hotline as a means of comforting quarantined seniors across North America. However, people of all ages are encouraged to dial 1-877-JOY-4ALL in order to enjoy the regularly updated selection of jokes, stories, guided meditations, and educational messages. A lot of folks who are in isolation are really missing their families right now. Ever active school teacher Jamie Anderson told CBC, so we're just trying to fill in some of the gaps and bring them a little bit of joy and levity during these difficult times. Youngsters are also encouraged to submit their own messages and recordings through the Joyful All website. Link to the website to submit messages is in the description of this video.
Great. Well, it's good to hear some good news for a change. So Shaquita, Gina, thank you for sharing some other news, some good news. A few more comments we had here. Marifer said, it's so crazy. This is going back to the aliens. People are still wondering about those. Catherine asked, maybe they are meteors? And Shamil just said, wow. A lot of reaction to the alien story. Yeah. But I liked all of those stories. So thank you both for sharing those with us today. Big round of applause to my studio audience. Next up, Gina wanted to share one more story with us today. I guess, would you say it's a news story, Gina, or how would you describe it?
So I just wanted to end our show today with some heartwarming news. So our last segment of the day, we would like to leave you with a heartwarming video brought to you by the Dodo videos. So if you've ever seen the Dodo videos, they can pull at your heartstrings a little bit. So just stay tuned and
watch.
We're
going to take a look at that video now.
She's a feisty little dog. She's very vocal. She has a ton of personality. Ray.
And I'm sorry, I started a little too early.
Raisin, this little sick gremlin of a dog.
Brady, that's a good video from start to finish.
Really needed a mom. At the same time that they had found Daya, who was a stray dog who was believed to be pregnant, but her body had rejected her pregnancy, and she was just really depressed. So the rescuers saw the opportunity to pair them together. We were absolutely willing to open our house for that. I was kind of waiting on eggshells, and it obviously makes you really nervous with a puppy as frail as Raisin was, how Daya would react. And then we set them in their bed together, and she just immediately started bathing her and licking her face. And then when Raisin reciprocated that and started licking Daya's face, that was just like, we know this is going to work. She took Raisin right in, and Raisin responded and really loved her too. Daya was very protective and maternal, and I think kind of proud of Raisin. She did a fantastic job. I think she just kind of got protection and love for the first time, and that was important, I think, to come from Daya. We let her kind of bond with a dog first because she'd never gotten to do that, clearly. Raisin had someone to learn from, and we had them together 10 days. When we felt like Raisin was feeling a lot better and Daya seemed to be doing emotionally better, she went home. It didn't seem to me at all like she was really struggling anymore. I think in the end, they both benefited from it. She has a place that's her own now, and another dog that loves her. I think we knew on day one, like, we wanted her, this was gonna happen, and we lied to ourselves for about a week, and then after Daya was out, I think we were pretty much dead set on having her. She's a feisty little dog. She's very vocal. She has a ton of personality.
Ray, what happened?
I think she's just, because she's such a special little dog, she just has this kind of magnetic attraction because she comes at you at this certain level of energy that other people and dogs meet her at that same level.
Raisin and I are going to show you our vegetables because we're very proud. Ray, why are you eating that?
I think if you're a stranger and she's going to run up to you and wag her tail and love you and play with you the way any other puppy would. And I think she learned all of that from Daya.
So there you have it. A beautiful little story from Pity Nation, and it looks like a lot of you found that to be pretty cute. So thank you again to Gina and to Shaquita for sharing all of that with us today. Our live studio audience is going to give them one more big round of applause. Now we're coming up on the end of the show here, but we have one more video to share, and I'm really glad to say that this was provided by one of our Upward Bound students. And to the other students, we love to have more student-produced content on our show, so if you have any kind of talent you want to share, any type of video, you want to do audio, please feel free to send it to your academic advisor. And if we think it's appropriate, we'll include it on the show. But this one is from Alex McClung, demonstrating some of her art skills. So take a look. Thank you, Alex, for sending us that cool video. I wish I could draw or paint like that or however you did it. Pretty cool. But we do also have an Upward Bound Art Club, and that was not something we did at Art Club, but we will be doing some art. So remember, for those of you artists or aspiring artists out there, Monday nights, 8 to 10 p.m., check out Art Club. Just taking a look if we have anything to share from social media today. As I said before, if you want to post, just make sure to hashtag it URTrioWorks. Just taking a look at that. Also, now is a good time, students, if you have any questions about anything you saw on the show today or anything related to Upward Bound Talent Search, go ahead, you can drop that in the chat now. And I'll take a look at some of your comments here in the chat. Kevon said, that's dope. Catherine, wow, so cool. I wonder what program Alex used. I don't know that. We'll have to ask her. And Kevon said that in our next art club meeting, we will be drawing. So that's coming up Monday night, like I said, art club. Check it out if you're interested in that. As a reminder, students, to get attendance credit for today, if you're in Upward Bound and Talent Search, Upward Bound or Talent Search, and want to get your 15 College Bound points for tuning into the show today, just make sure to drop your name in the chat, full name please, or you can email it or text it. There's a number there, 585-301-4488, or you can email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. Get your 15 College Bound points. Once again, if there are any student questions about the show, feel free to drop those in the chat. We only have a few more minutes today. And just a little reminder of your assignment, if you choose to accept it. You should. It is an assignment for all the 11th graders, but for any student, you can do this assignment to get 10 College Bound points. Shaquita mentioned it earlier when she was going over study tips, and that's to create a study plan. If you remember, Shaquita had the nice weekly schedule laid out with how she's going to study, so you just have to create something like that. It does not have to be the exact same template or format, but just some type of study plan. And it could be for SAT, for ACT, for AP exams, just for studying for your classes, but any type of study plan. Create that and email it to an Upward Bound advisor or Talent Search advisor, and you can get 10 additional College Bound points for that. Also, if you did not attend the show live, you can still get those 10 points by doing the assignment. And the recording of this episode will be up on our YouTube channel. If you have not yet done so, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes or other videos that we put out there. If you feel so inclined, drop us a thumbs up on the video today. Well, this brings us to the end of the show for today. Our next episode will be next Friday on May 8th. That one is specifically for our 9th grade students, but anyone's welcome to check it out. The following week on Friday, May 15th, will be our 10th grade episode, and 11th graders, the next one for you will be on Friday, May 22nd. Make sure you're keeping in touch with your academic advisor. Make sure you're checking those remind messages that we send out with the links to the Your Success Academy, to book club, to coding club, to all that we have going on. Just make sure to keep an eye on those messages. If you're following us on social media, check our story or our page, our account, because we put information there too. So a lot of ways to get the information, and we want to make sure you stay up to date. That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UR College Bound Show, and have a good day and a good weekend.